If you were planning on 5 years to citizenship in Portugal, that plan just changed. Parliament approved the new nationality law on April 1st. The path is now 10 years for most people. No grace period, no exceptions for people already here, and the president has 20 days to make it official. You may have already seen a video explaining what changed. This one tells you what to do about it before he signs it. Let's start with the facts. Parliament approved a new nationality law on April 1st, 2026. It has been sent to President António José Seguro for review. Until he acts on it, the current 5-year rule still applies. Nothing has changed yet, but what is coming is significant. Under the new law, the minimum legal residency required to apply for Portuguese citizenship increases from 5 years to 10 years for most non-EU nationals. That includes Americans, British, Canadians, Australians, and several African countries. For EU citizens and nationals of Portuguese-speaking countries, the requirement increases to 7 years. While the 2024 reform allowed the citizenship clock to start from the date of application, the April 1, 2026 amendment effectively resets the rules. The clock will once again start only from the date your residence permit is physically issued, not from your IMA appointment or initial filing. For thousands of residents who have already waited years for their cards, this shift isn't just a technicality. It potentially adds several years of lost time to a timeline that has also been extended from 5 years to as many as 10 for most nationalities. And there is no transitional period, no grandfathering clause. Parliament approved this version without one. If this becomes law, it applies immediately and fully to everyone. The law also adds integration requirements: language knowledge, understanding of Portuguese culture and history, civic knowledge, and a formal declaration of commitment to democratic principles. It is not just about time anymore. It is about demonstrating a genuine connection to Portugal. If you are not sure where you stand in the process right now, I put together a free relocation checklist that walks you through the sequence of what needs to happen and in what order. It is a good starting point before you talk to a lawyer. Find the link in the description. Who this actually hits? This is the question everyone is asking right now. Does this affect me specifically? Let me break it down by situation. If you are already a legal resident and approaching the 5-year mark, you are in the most time-sensitive position of anyone watching this. The current 5-year rule still applies. If you qualify now or will qualify before the president signs this law, that window is open right now. Do not wait to start your application process. If you are mid-application and already submitted your citizenship request under the 5-year rule, the Constitutional Court previously ruled that pending applications cannot automatically be moved to new requirements. But that protection depends on the final transitional rules in the signed law, which do not currently exist in this version. Get legal advice on your specific case this week. If you have been waiting at IMA for your residence card, the clock change matters enormously for you. Under this law, your 5 or 10-year countdown starts when that card is issued, not when you attended your appointment. If you have been waiting a year or 2 for your card, that waiting time may not count. Contact your immigration lawyer about where you stand. If you are planning to move to Portugal and had a 5-year path to citizenship in your plan, that plan needs to be rebuilt around 10 years, not adjusted, rebuilt. If you want vetted legal contacts and immigration professionals who understand exactly where this law stands right now, I keep an updated resource guide with direct contacts across every stage of the relocation process. Find the link in the description. Here is the part most videos are not being specific about. The president has 20 days from receiving the law to act on it. He can sign it into law, veto it, or refer it to the Constitutional Court for further review. President António José Seguro is a former member of the Socialist Party. He has publicly expressed opposition to this law in the past. That does not guarantee a veto. A president's personal views and his constitutional role are different things. But it is a real variable that makes the outcome genuinely uncertain. If he vetoes it, Parliament can override that veto with an absolute majority of 116 out of 230 deputies. The coalition that passed this law already has those numbers. A veto delays the law, it does not kill it. If he refers it to the Constitutional Court, the process extends further. If he signs it, it becomes law and the 10-year requirement takes effect. The window is not vague. It is 20 days. It is open right now, and nobody knows which direction it closes. If you are approaching the 5-year mark, contact an immigration lawyer this week. not next month, this week. Ask them directly whether you qualify to apply under the current rule and what you need to do to get your application in before the law changes. If you are mid-application, ask your lawyer specifically whether your pending file is protected under the existing 5-year framework, given that no transitional rules exist in the current version of the law. If you are waiting for your residence card and your IMA appointment was months or years ago, ask your lawyer how the clock change affects your specific timeline and whether there is anything you can do to accelerate your card issuance. If you are still planning your move, build your timeline around 10 years. If an EU passport was part of your long-term plan, that goal has not disappeared. It has just gotten longer and more demanding. Plan accordingly. And if you are working through any of this and need someone to look at your specific situation, your timeline, your documents, and give you an honest answer rather than a generic one, book a clarity call with me. One conversation, your specific case, no generic answers. The current 5-year rule remains in effect. The president has 20 days to make a decision on the next steps. This timeframe is critical and is currently open for action. Stay tuned for updates. As always, by the end of the month, I will provide a summary of everything that has occurred and discuss the next steps, including whether the president signs the legislation, vetoes it, or sends it back to the court. If you have questions about your specific situation, my email is in the description. Send me a message. And if you found this video helpful, you'll probably want to watch this one next, as this can also impact your plans here. Click now and I'll see you there. Ciao.